Simon, lovely to see you. How are you doing?
Great, thank you. Great to be here.
We're glad to have you. It's been a hot minute since we last caught up rather. What's new with you?
Well, at Pyramid, we're going through a massive change in terms of how we're delivering our platform and technology into the market. We're really spending a lot of time with customers who've come to the conclusion, as you know, we have that data analytics probably needs to be done in a slightly different way than it has done in the past. And so we're having some amazing conversations, even here today, with organizations who are sort of talking about a proliferation of technologies and silos of data that, you know, breaking down those silos has been really challenging for them, and really getting meaningful insights has been a real barrier to change and agility. And I think Pyramid is really coming with a fresh approach, a new paradigm, if you will, in order to really deliver competitive intelligence into the marketplace. So it's really exciting. Off the back of our Series E funding, we're growing out the company really fast. And today's just an example of our attendance in sort of driving that market.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting as you say that it's not necessarily the technology element that companies struggle with, right? They can come and partner with many solutions, but actually, as you say, it's really understanding from a business perspective. Well, are you siloed? Are you ready for data? Is there buy-in to all of these things, and going around that so that you can actually make use of the things, as you say, those insights as well.
Absolutely. I think we're seeming to find, we had a lot of conversations with organizations who are saying actually the change management, the ability to empower, enable, you know, end users of data, team leaders, divisional leaders and managers to be able to sort of utilize the data, and its empowerment, it's the promotion of citizen sort of data. That change management's really hard. It's traditionally been a very IT-based function. And the problem is that the technologies, the structures that have been put in place have been very much command and control. And that doesn't deliver the agility and the flexibility that organizations need. They can't wait 2 months to get a report. The data's out of date, it's irrelevant. They can't, you know, submit a ticket, wait for something to change. And we all know what happens if they don't get the data they need. They're going to find that data somewhere else. They're going to manipulate it. They're going to chuck it into Excel. And now all of a sudden you've got a big problem. And so by putting massive controls or, you know, structures in place to, you know, really tighten down the IT department, the data analytics department, to do something in a certain way, actually it's breaking the whole way that people utilize the data. And so the data can't be trusted, because ultimately you've got differing, you know, opinions. You've got people with confirmation bias on the data that they're producing. And so it becomes an element of just using what's there. In fact, I read a report recently, only 3% of an organization's data is used for decision making. Now that might be the best 3% of the data in the organization, but 97% is huge and vast. And when you bring that together, there's insights there that are lost.
Yeah, 100%. And I think it's obviously the benefit you have, similar to me in a respect, is that you can speak to so many people and get a real holistic view of the market, right? And I think it's such a true challenge in that you need to have the trust in that data. And the truth of the matter is, as you said so fantastically, they will just go find it. So if you don't provide it, they will find answers to their questions. And in the market that we're in now, and it's interesting that you talk about kind of the timely manner as well, since COVID, it's really non-negotiable now. Yeah. They need that data quickly. So that's the environment that we find ourselves in. Obviously, you're hearing those challenges day in, day out. What are you up to at Pyramid that kind of looks to help with these big challenges?
So we are starting to accelerate in so many different areas. I mean, it's amazing. I've worked in a lot of high growth organizations, and I think Pyramid has the recipe for being something special and unique in this space. And I think anyone who's watching this will look at that and go, oh yeah, but in 6 months, a year, 2 years, they're going to go, wow, that was the start of something, really pivotal in the marketplace and the approach that we're taking. We've got large solution integrators who are looking at how do we set up a practice to be able to do this the right way finally? How do we ensure that they are delivering that value and those change programs? So we're accelerating in our sort of government, central sort of government, local government, public sector spaces. We are looking in, being able to help retail a lot more, finance, insurance, even enterprise social and governance. We are able to help a lot, because a lot of the data in those organizations in so many different places, it's not stored in one place. And the worst thing is that right now so many organizations have to move that data. So now you've lost governance, security, you've got data leakage. You're now paying to move the data, and then you're querying it, and so you're sort of running the data analysis again, and by the time you've moved it and queried it and normalized it, you've lost days, if not weeks. And the ability to mash up that data from multiple sources and say, I want a direct query into SAP and understand, how are my sales or my operations or my supply chain working across multi-currencies, across ragged hierarchies, as well as then mash that up with a Snowflake or a SQL Server that's all hosted in the cloud, and whilst your SAP is on premise, and bring that together and understand how it relates to each other, and then use AI and natural language to query it, to pivot it, and then to get those insights that you would never been able to see, so that it's guiding my decisions. I mean, you can see, I think it's a phenomenal. I think we're on the cusp of something that's really going to be pivotal to organizations.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always great to chat with someone so passionate about the market and what you're doing, for sure. Well, Simon, thank you so much for sitting down and having a chat with me.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.